Hey guys, welcome back to the Stuff of Legend.
My name is D'Lo, and this is another episode of My Take. Today's topic is Batman, but we're going to be talking about the Lego Batman movie. So this one was really fun. For those of you who may not be aware, the Lego Batman movie is actually a sequel. So it is the second movie in a franchise of Lego films following the Lego movie starring Chris Pratt. Most sequels struggle to stack up to the quality of the first film in a franchise, but not this one. The Lego Batman was absolutely awesome. Everything is awesome! Director Chris McKay has given us the most unique and lovable Batman ever. The first ever Batman comedy that stays true to the character and still gives honor to the Batman legacy. It is both a unique and accurate take on the character while still maintaining a fresh and fun adventure in the world of Lego. Mary Hidalgo was the casting director for the Lego Batman, and she knocked it out of the park. With great success casting films like A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., The Incredibles, just to name a few, her perfect record of excellent casting continues on as the Lego Batman was brilliantly cast, with Will Arnett playing Batman, Zach Galifianakis playing the Joker, Michael Cera playing Robin, Rosario Dawson played Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, and Chris McKay's vision was such a different take. We've never had Batman portrayed as a comedy. It's always something leaning towards the serious realm because Batman's story is very dark, it's very serious. His parents were killed, he grows up traumatized, but then he equips himself to be able to make a better tomorrow for the city of Gotham. It's very memorable to be able to see Chris McKay's take on this. And if you guys don't know who he is, he was the writer for Robot Chicken for 3 seasons in a row. He's a comedic legend. This movie will certainly convince you of that. He's amazing. The movie is funny, literally from the opening black screen all the way through to the end when it cuts to white. It's kind of almost Deadpool-esque where you get him breaking the fourth wall. You get Batman's voice narrating even the opening credits, and you're literally laughing all the way start to finish. It has made its way in my heart to the top 3 Batman films of all time, and as far as how I enjoyed it, top 6 superhero films of all time for me, because this one is truly enjoyable. And it pays so much honor to the history of Batman. It's incredible. The script and the writing was among the funniest I've ever seen in any film ever. So for those of you who are like, oh, I didn't want to go see Lego Batman, I'm not going to go see a kid's movie. It's not actually a kid's movie, it's a family film. And what I mean by that is there are tons of jokes that are funny for kids, but it's hilarious for adults. There's jokes that are going to slip past your kids and reach out to you as parents. I'm a dad now, and my wife, we have a kid and a kid on the way. It was so refreshing to be able to go and see a DC film, because it is a DC film, and arguably the most successful one, probably next to Wonder Woman. Will Arnett gave us an absolutely brilliant performance as a narcissistic Bruce Wayne / Batman, and it was really cool. Like, they played him almost like Iron Man, genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, and they even poke actual quotes and fun at Iron Man. They're both rich, they're both nuts, they're both heroes, and it's really funny to watch Will Arnett and Chris McKay take that to the next level by actually poking fun. There's a couple scenes where the entrance to the Batcave requires an audible password. The Bat computer says password, and Will Arnett says Iron Man sucks. It's just really funny because it's DC just taking a stab at Marvel that way, and it's really funny to watch them make fun of the other studios. It had that Deadpool feel, breaking that fourth wall and kind of reaching out into our world and engaging with us as viewers. It was wonderful. It was awesome. I don't know if you'd be able to do that with the Batman character in a live action, but it worked perfectly in the Lego Batman, especially in a family film. I heard a lot of people talking about Zach Galifianakis' Joker. They were saying, oh, it's not the Joker. He's not dark. He's not, Joker's supposed to be cold. He's a killer. I'm like, dude, this is a family film. That's not at all what they were aiming for with this, neither with the movie or with the character of the Joker. And it doesn't betray the Joker to portray him in a slightly different light for a family film. And it was really refreshing to see how they did that. So it wasn't just about him not being a bad guy, because he was a bad guy. He was the main bad guy in the story. But they use bad guy in a way that's kid-friendly, so you don't have to get into like blood and gore and all that stuff. The plot was like a bromantic comedy. They followed the story as Joker sees himself as Batman's greatest enemy, and he's kind of like the one. He wants to be that one that Batman refers to as his greatest foe, and he wants that place in Batman's heart, to kind of be the bad apple in his eye. It's a really funny situation, because when he announces himself as Batman's greatest enemy, Batman's like, oh, what did you just say? Batman doesn't do ships, relationships. So he does this really funny rejection of the Joker, and Joker gets really hurt. His heart breaks. It's like two bros that one bro sees himself as like super super tight. The other one's like, no man, we're not even like that. We're not close. What are you doing? And then the rest of the movie is kind of both of them learning to find that balance with each other and with others as well. But Batman, upon realizing Joker's feelings for him, closes himself off. He says hilarious lines like,
I like to fight around.
he's not willing to commit to having just one single greatest villain. Joker's totally devastated as Batman says,
There is no us. You're nothing to me.
it breaks his heart. So Joker leaves, Batman gets to, save the day, and everybody's kind of celebrating with him. This is like the first 5 minutes. There is countless cameos, countless Easter eggs, tons of throwbacks to the 60s and all the Batman generations leading up, and relentless Batman fandom all the way through, and it's very good. They even took liberties to change a little bit of the dynamic between Barbara and Batman. They did it so that this story could have more jokes. Batman meets Barbara. She's a little bit older. Normally it would be Dick Grayson and Barbara in a relationship. But here we have Batman. He sees Barbara and he's totally infatuated. He's this bro. He's a super bro. He's just like Will Arnett in Hot Rod, where he's like, babe, no, wait, babe, please, babe. He plays a bro super well, and he did that with this Batman, and he killed it. Amazing. I loved it. It's different. You have live action, you have animated, but this one being a comedy and Will Arnett delivering non-stop golden humor, it was the most enjoyable experience for Batman, save for probably The Dark Knight, and for very different reasons. Barbara is taking over as the commissioner, and Batman sees her on stage. He's totally infatuated with her, but she wants nothing to do with him. She recognizes who Bruce Wayne is. She doesn't have a lot of respect for him. She looked up to Batman growing up, but then she comes to realize that you have to operate within the law, and she's all about accountability, responsibility, and actual laws. And these are all things that Batman hates in this film. It's really, really funny. There's a ton of things in there, like when Barbara proposes this campaign for no more vigilantes and we don't need Batman anymore. He doesn't have a drink in his hand at Commissioner Gordon's retirement party. Batman, absolutely repulsed by this idea, he calls, waiter, brings over the glass, he's all, what? I hated everything you just said right now. There's so many moments in there that are just absolutely wonderful. This is probably, oh boy, this is probably the one movie that I don't know if I can actually pick a favorite scene in. There's too many. There's too many scenes that were just so good, so fun. And as a Batman fan and a fan of DC and all the different things that were in that movie, characters from Harry Potter, they had the Lord of the Rings, they had King Kong and Godzilla. Because it's a Lego franchise, they can reach out to all those different properties and involve them. I don't know if I can pick a favorite, but I'll give you guys a couple that come to mind just really quick. One, when Batman goes to the Fortress of Solitude with Robin, he's gonna break in, he's gonna try to steal the Phantom Zone projector, and he knocks on the door. Superman comes out, and by the way, he's played by Channing Tatum, and it's really funny. And they have this cool nod to Batman versus Superman, and they even do a Lego version of the standoff in the rain, and it's really cool. It looks really good. The music is compelling. Superman's like, I don't want to fight you, but I would totally kick your butt. Like stuff that everyone says and mentions. It's almost like the comment section of a DC movie review. They go inside to the dance. It's the Justice League 57th anniversary. And it's really funny because it ties into the comic when the Justice League was first seen in the comic books when they were fighting Starro the Conqueror. They had all of the Justice League members there, characters like Flash, Black Lightning. They even had Wonder Dog DJing the party. It was really cool to see all of that. There's a lot of fun lines in there. Martian Manhunter's like, you can call me the Martian Dance Hunter. I had a total geek fest over this film. I had to watch it like 6-7 times to go through and dig through all the Easter eggs. Even in the beginning, having Chris McKay be that pilot that the Joker was talking to, and he says, Batman's gonna stop you. He always stops you. And Joker's like, what do you mean he's gonna stop me? And he's like, well, what about the time with the 2 boats? Those are throwbacks to The Dark Knight, where the Joker threatens Batman. He's got the cruise liner with all the innocent people, and then he's got the boat loaded with all the criminals that are being transported. He has a bomb on both ships, and he's telling him, you have to choose. Even the reference to Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson's, all the characters that the Joker mentions that are his henchmen that are going to help him in that initial battle in the beginning, they're all real characters from the 1960s TV series. Chris McKay asks, are those guys even real? And the Joker says, yep, all of them. Probably worth the Google. And it totally is. If you go back and you look, all those characters were made up for that TV show. Like I mentioned before, I don't have one favorite scene for this because they're all so good. There is a part that is iconic for this film within the first 6 minutes of the movie where Batman comes out as the mayor and he's in disguise and he starts dialoguing with Joker, and he turns around and he takes the mask off and it's actually Batman. Joker's like, what? Are you nuts? And then Batman's like, you want to get nuts?
let's get nuts.
And it's a reference to Michael Keaton saying, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. But the best part about that is the song that comes after that, where Batman is just praising himself in a song that he wrote about himself, kicking the bad guys' butts. And it's just the funniest song. Go look it up. It's called the Let's Get Nuts mix. It's hilarious. But seriously, beyond the comedy, there's also a lot of family story in there. It's really sweet. Batman, his greatest fear is being part of a family again, because he's afraid to lose them again. They take a moment to make fun of how many iterations there have been throughout the years, how they always depict the same story over and over in every Batman film, but they also understand that it's an important part of his story and it's critical for his character development. So they do touch on that by adapting a fresh take of Batman learning to be part of a family again, and by accidentally adopting Dick Grayson to be his son, and then having to work with him as Batman with a partner, which he is totally against. He's totally opposed, but he has to do it now because he locked himself into an adoption deal, which is really funny. But then also learning to work with Alfred and seeing Alfred as the father figure that Alfred always saw himself as to Bruce. There's a lot of really good family moments in there, and it has such a sweet story that's really fast paced and the jokes are non-stop. One thing that I saw in an interview that I really appreciated was that as a kid growing up, for Chris McKay, the great Batman of his day was Michael Keaton. It was like us now growing up seeing The Dark Knight. That was the big one for him. Him and his friends, they were like, oh my gosh, you know, Billy D's gonna come back and we're gonna get Two-Face. And then the next movie to come out was Batman Forever. That never happened. So they never got to see the fulfillment of Billy D becoming Two-Face, and for them that was this huge like letdown. One of the cool things that they did in this film, they had Billy D. Williams come back and play Two-Face in this Lego movie. So even though it's an animated film, the Lego for Two-Face actually looks like Two-Face on this side and Billy D. Williams on the other. And it was Billy D. Williams voicing Two-Face. If you're gonna watch this film, keep your eyes forward because there's so much in there. You will, I guarantee it, miss maybe 50% of the jokes, the cameos, the Easter eggs. You're gonna miss a lot the first time you see it. It's definitely a movie that is completely rewatchable and even more enjoyable the more times you see it. So I hope that you guys get a chance to see it if you haven't already seen it, and if you have seen it, maybe this shed a little bit of light on that film for you. Maybe it pointed out something that you might have missed. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was my take on the Lego Batman movie. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you loved it, share it with those you love. As always, subscribe for more, and if you want to get my videos before anybody else, hit the notification bell to be alerted right away when I upload my next video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time on
The Stuff of Legend. Oh yeah.